Hello and welcome to part 9, where we begin our tour of the reports within Focus Pro. Most of the reports provide a preview window, as we can see here. This gives us an idea of what the report will look like. We can click on the columns to change the sort order if we require. So here we're looking at the payroll report. We have a number of options, but basically we are selecting a date range, and what is being shown is the total amount of time worked at each rate of pay. This is the report's basic form. Wherever you see a drop-down arrow, suggests that there are variations of the report available. The payroll detail report will show all of the clocking in, clocking out times, as well as a brief summary at the bottom for each employee. As we've mentioned previously, all of the reports within Focus Pro can be either simply printed or saved in the various file formats, PDF, Microsoft Excel, HTML, RTF, text and .tiff formats. Focus includes a number of popular payroll packages that you can export to, such as Sage, Egress and Ernie. This list is always being added to. If you have a payroll package that isn't already in the list, we would be very happy to try to include it. The timesheet report is used for weekly information only. There are various options here. The condensed report tries to fit as many timesheets on a page as possible, which is often the best way when printing. Moving on, the infringements report basically shows us, let's just bring that one up there in text format. This basically shows us across a specific date range the number of instances where different types of infringement have occurred. We can see the number of late in, early out, late in from a break, early out to a break overrun, and forgetting to clock out infringements that have occurred. And also tries to give an estimate of the amount of time that has been lost because of the infringements. We can also view this report graphically. Combo. This helps us to highlight where our problem employees are. Moving on now to the totals by employee report. There are a number of variations on this report. In the basic text view, we can see the total amount of time worked within a particular date range at each of the particular rates. Also trying to give a separate total of the total overtime worked. We can view that one graphically. Gives us a good indication here as to who's working a lot of hours. We can also produce a bar chart showing basically representing the total amount of hours worked across all of our employee selection, and we can also view that as a pie chart and even as percentage. This sort of report might help to highlight where an excessive amount of overtime has been worked. For example, if a manager may consider taking on more staff to reduce the additional overtime payments that they're probably making. And finally, for this part, we'll have a look at totals by week. So in some ways it's quite a similar report, but we can see the amount of time worked at all the different rates spread across the different weeks. These are weeks going across the bottom here. So this basically helps to show us the peaks of troughs of hours worked across a given period of time. So we'll stop here and we'll look further at the reports in part 10.